How's it going? My name's Alan Sams, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm a working bass player in the local area. Doing this video today on the Squire Vintage Modified Jazz Bass. I wanted to buy this bass, but I couldn't find anything on YouTube that would give me a demo that was in English. So there you go. This is what I'm doing. The bass itself, from what I can tell, is a very solid constructed bass. When I got it, I had to do some setup work on it, lower the jazz, or lower the action on it a little bit. But that was really about it. It has a rosewood neck, maple body. The tuners, even though they're less expensive, they definitely seem to hold too. The bridge itself is pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. It's definitely not budging, unlike some other Squires I had back in the day. Electronics for the bass. It's your tone knob down here. Bridge volume, neck volume. Bass is a three-colored sunburst. It has a tortoiseshell pickguard, which is kind of a nice feature, nice added bonus. And then the pickups themselves are really nice pickups. They're not very hot, so they're not overly loud. I've always used instruments with a active preamp in them. This is a passive bass. It has the Seymour Duncan designed jazz bass pickups, our single coil pickups. But they're very rich. They have a very rich sound. They have your high ends cut through really nicely. I did notice I was getting a little extra string, just maybe a little bit of distortion on my E. So I did lower the E and A side of the single coil in the neck position. I gigged with this bass for the first time this past weekend, and the bass held tune. It's not overly heavy. It weighs 9 pounds, 2 ounces, which is good, especially if you're like me. I play in a cover band, so as we gig out, it's usually a 4-hour show, 2.5 to 4 hours anyway. So it's not cutting your shoulder. It's not cutting in your shoulder. It's not killing you by the end of the night. Bass on the back. This particular this body is actually a two-piece body. The seam is down the middle. It has a 4-bolt neck joint. These basses, unlike say the made in Mexico jazzes or even American jazzes, depending on what you get, this is a basswood or basswood, however you pronounce it, body. It is less expensive to reproduce this wood. However, this is the same wood that would be in a Music Man bongo bass, the American Music Man bongo bass. So it is a good wood. It gives you nice rich tones. You can get virtually any kind of sound you want. It's good for, obviously, like the jazz walks that I was doing when we first started the video, but it's also really good for slapping. Your high ends tend to cut through really nicely. I've been really satisfied with it. These are even, I just literally got this bass like a week ago. I even left the factory stock strings on here just because I ran out of time before my gig. The price point on this bass is $279 retail. You'll find that price point either through Musician's Friend or Guitar Center. So the first thing that does is it actually makes this a very, very upgradable bass. It has a very traditional Fender kind of bridge on it. I'm not crazy about these bridges. I have a tendency to dig when I play. When I'm playing live or playing out, I have a tendency to, as I get more into it, I'm digging into the strings. I'm pulling the strings. So I like that extra support of having something to keep my saddles from sliding. I'll probably drop either I'll most likely drop a hip shot bridge or a higher end bridge and replace this. I probably will replace the tuners, mainly because I like a little higher end tuner than this. Even though it holds stock, I mean, it holds tunes, so it's not necessarily something that you have to do. Um, it's a very upgradable bass. The pickups are, they're clean, there's no hum to them. They don't, you could certainly leave those in with no problem. Maybe I may consider adding an active preamp to the bass just to get a little bit more boost. But and I may not. I mean, I just definitely know I will upgrade the bridge and the tuners definitely. Um, but other than that, I mean, this is a solid bass. I even told the sales guy when I bought it, I said, I sat down and I played it for a long time. I played a couple different ones, and I sat down and I told the guy, I said, I really don't even think this bass should have the name Squire on it. I'm really impressed with this. I have most of my money in my amp through my bass rig, and I don't generally tend to spend a whole lot of money on my actual basses. I'm not in a position where I can, like a lot of people in the world. But for $279 and a couple upgrades, I'm perfectly satisfied with this instrument, and I would urge you, stop into your local guitar, um, retailer, and give it a shot. I would honestly buy this over a made in Mexico bass, even though they have the Almaco pickups. Usually it's an ash body generally. Um, for $279, you really can't beat it. Again, it's the Squire Vintage Modified Jazz Bass Series, and give it a shot.